Welcome back to the Extra Point right here on KMAR. Cody Maroney and Matt Reynolds bring you all the previews to get you set for another great Friday night of action. And, Matt, we just talked a while ago about the defensive effort for both Franklin Parish and Airline the last Friday night. And part of that defensive effort is having great defensive-minded gurus behind the defensive play calling. So let's bring into the show our good buddy all the way from Franklin Parish, Curt Curtis. How you doing, Coach?
Hey guys, how's it going?
Doing pretty good. Now, you pretty excited about the defensive effort from you guys last Friday night?
Yeah, man. Look, we lost a lot from last year's team. We was kind of concerned with the growing process of the young guys we got coming in, and through these first 3 games and the few scrimmages in Jamboree, we could not be happier with the effort and the growth that they've given us. Putting up some pretty gaudy numbers for a defensive squad.
Absolutely, Coach. Forcing as many turnovers as y'all have. Last year, I believe, is up in the 30s, and headed that way this year already. I mean, I think a lot of people were expecting a little down year. But one thing you notice when you look at FP out there on film or at the game, it's that it's physical. I mean, every tackle is physical. It didn't know shoestring tackles. It's somebody in your face, and the defensive line has just been outright nasty. But you losing those 3 guys, like you mentioned, Coach, in the secondary, and you get these younger guys. Maybe a lot of people hadn't heard their names, like Jalen Hendricks and I believe DeMarcus Banks and so on and so on. Those guys are a little bit smaller maybe than your Jordan Jeter physically, but man, they play with a lot of physicality.
Yes, well, I'll tell you what, we had a few times last year where Jalen got in with Nooney Robinson going out. He had some really important playing time that kind of built towards his efforts this year. And then DeMarcus Banks, senior safety that I have this year, had to go in for Rico Beckwith late in the year last year and got some playing time in the playoffs game, which I believe really is just springboard him to this year. Having a great year that he has. And, of course, he's the one that had the 3 interceptions down in St. Francisville.
Right.
That's 4 total on the year.
And run us.
I'll tell you, the toughness of our defense, from the defensive line, linebackers, and the cornerbacks has a lot to do with the work ethic of our kids. Our all-season program that Coach McCartney does, that's what we preach. We're going to be stronger, we're going to be faster, we're going to be smarter than anyone that we play. And that's our goal, and so far they're stepping up and working towards our motto.
Hey, Coach, a lot of people, I know Coach Barry Sebring is very involved in the defense. A lot of people, for some reason, think he's this offensive guy, but he's actually a defensive guy. But take us through somebody that don't really know what goes on in the week of practice. Like, for example, you got a team like Oak Grove coming in, loves to run the football traditionally. What is the week leading up to the game like for a defensive coach and getting his players ready for a team like Oak Grove?
Well, first off, Coach Sebring is definitely a big part of the defense, and that's what he was, like you said, a defensive guy. But, Coach Purvis actually calls in the defenses this year. I have in the past. But what we'll do is we'll get in there on Saturday morning. As soon as that Friday night game's over with, we enjoy it for a couple hours. We start breaking down their film, looking at what their favorite plays are, their favorite sets are, things like that. And, Sunday we'll meet with the kids at 2:30. And, we'll bring them in. We'll look real briefly over our past game of the things that we want to fix, but we kind of, curve that towards what we're looking at Oak Grove doing or the next upcoming opponent. And, we try to take away their strengths, without leaving many weaknesses in our defensive schemes.
Now you specialize with the secondary, Coach. Going back to last year, you lose a guy like Rico Beckwith. And you mentioned Jalen and DeMarcus getting some playing time last year to kind of springboard them into their roles this year. Looking back at last year in the off season, did you think you was going to have a tough task on your hand getting that filled in, or did you have a lot of confidence in the guys going into the off season?
Well, you had mentioned the size and the strength factor. I was kind of concerned with that. But I'll tell you what, Jalen is just as strong as either corner that I had last year. So the way we play a tough technique on that cornerback's position, I had no doubt about him. Now, Chris Williams has stepped in. He's a junior this year, has done an exceptional job. He's made a few tackles, a few hits in the backfield. He actually forced a turnover for us earlier. And Banks is just a ball hawk. There was, I had no doubt in my mind that he could play any pass thrown at him. He has great ball skills. He has great instincts. He's not very big, but I'll tell you what, he's not scared to hit. So a little surprised, yeah, but no, I kind of knew these kids, coming in that they had what it took. It's just going to be an effort, a timetable thing of working them into where they're comfortable. And I think they've gotten there pretty quick.
128 total yards the defense allowed last week against Airline on a wet, just a messy, sloppy field where it's hard to cut on, especially when you're trying to defend somebody. Talk about the athleticism of the defense, not just the cornerbacks, but also the linebackers and the defensive linemen who are trying to crash down on a running back and being able to hold up their posture to make a tackle.
I tell you, that has been something that we've been very pleased with. We have an older group of linemen with Tyler Spears, Russell Majors being seniors, and we got Curtis and a couple other guys there on the ends that are actually juniors who are stepping up big time. But they speed and strength does not jump or drop off for us on the defensive line. Those guys right there can go. They got great motors. And, what they do is they run technique. A lot of times you get in poor field position or conditions, and, you'll run yourself out of plays trying to do too much. And what they do is they go to where they're supposed to be, and they open lanes for our linebackers, which have done a tremendous job this year, led by senior middle linebacker Dalton Kearns. He is an exceptionally smart kid. He is always where he's supposed to be. Maybe not the most athletically gifted, and he'll tell you that, but he is always there, and he's not scared to put his helmet down and make a play. And, we have 3 or 4 that rotate in there. They're doing an exceptional job.
And Coach, last question.
Making my job a lot easier when that front seven is
definitely.
That's right. Coach, last question. We'll get you out of there and get you back in the film room and out on the practice field. But Oak Grove, last year they came into Patriot Stadium, a lot of emotion playing for their coach that had recently got let go. And this year, they're going to bring a good team. They're coming off a loss. They're hungry. Tell us what to expect out of the Tigers coming into Friday night.
I'll tell you what, we weren't real sure how they were going to be this year with the coaching change, and a lot of the emotions that was going through with that. Coach Dalrymple's been is a legend around here, has respect of everybody. But the new guy comes in, and the scheme is not a lot different from what they're used to. I mean, they're big. They got a fast quarterback. They run an option. It's going to look a lot like our offense. So, with their size and the way they use their skill guys, it's going to be tough, but we just got to play our game plan. And, I think end of the night, if we do what we're supposed to do, we'll be some happy guys here at Patriot Stadium.
Well, Cody Maroney said he's going to do an anti-rain dance Friday night.
That's right. No rain, I hope, on Friday nights. No rain.
That would be great.
We appreciate it, Coach.
All right, guys. Thanks a lot.
Good to talk with you.